Hey guys, you know when you're trying to really do something where you're trying to do something, but somehow you are letting yourself down. You understand? You're letting yourself down and you're trying to help yourself in some kind of way, but in other types of ways you're helping yourself, but in other types of ways you're not. You understand? And it's like a feeling of discouragement, but also a feeling of worthiness, that you're worthy and that you're not worthy at the same time. You have to realize just the feelings that you can go through in life. You have to realize that life is here to be manifested in some kind of way. So you have to manifest life. You have to talk about it. You have to realize that you have to talk about everything in life, but try not to be other people. You understand? So try to be yourself. Try to enjoy life. Try to be someone who's lifting people and who's enjoying life. You see, guys, in life, you have to realize that many people cannot be you. You have to realize that you are solely unique to your own individual. You have to realize every single day that you go out somewhere, or you take yourself out for dinner, or you take yourself out for a movie, you just try to relax. You try to relax even more than you are today. Try to be in a state of free flow. And what this means is when you're in a state of free flow, when you're in a state of teaching every single day, bring your phone with you. Make sure it's with you. Make sure your phone's in your hands. Make sure that you put the voice recorder on, just like I'm doing this audio program for you, and just start talking for 1 minute. And then walk somewhere, come back to your phone, talk again. And just keep repeating the process of talking in some kind of way so that you can understand yourself, so you can understand how to vibrate, so you can do better in life. You see, guys, you have to understand that those people who can talk words can do anything. You have to take deep breaths in life. I promise you, when you take deep breaths in life, you relax, you calm down. You have to realize, I want to ask you, what's stressing you out? I mean, is it your work? Is it your family? Is it your kids? You have to find out what is stressing you. And once you find out what's stressing you in life, you start to breathe. You understand? You start to breathe deeply within your mouth. Use your mouth to breathe. You see, it doesn't matter if you breathe with your nose or if you breathe with your mouth, as long as you're breathing. You understand? I breathe through my mouth, and because I breathe through my mouth, I enjoy life. You see, guys, what's the difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not? I promise you, it's their ability to be able to speak words. And you have to understand, when they can speak words, they can do anything. I mean, if you look at Oprah Winfrey, or if you look at Tony Robbins, or any person out there who's really, let's say, a public speaker or who's on television, what do they all have in common? I promise you, every single one of those people can talk words. They're able to express themselves. They're able to make content for people. You understand? I promise you, they're able to broadcast their thoughts. They're able to really talk and understand how to talk. You see, guys, if you want to make sure every single day of your life you're doing something positive, I promise you, you need to be able to understand that there's always a way to be positive, and there's always a way to think in a better way than you are now. So you have to apply techniques in your life that are going to be something that is going to be straightforward, that's going to get your life on track. I see, when you take your life on track, for example, and you make sure that you're benefiting from everything. I mean, make sure that you're taking pauses in between your communication. Make sure that you're living life to the fullest. I promise you, every single time you live life to the fullest, things happen. You start to become happier. You start to do things that you've never done before. You start to actually vibrate on a different level. You see, guys, those people who can't breathe, You have to understand that they cannot live life. You have to understand that you have to be able to breathe. You have to be able to every single day express yourself in a way that you can breathe and in a way that you can do life. I promise you, yes, you're trying, but you have to try smarter. You have to try something that you've never tried before. You have to go a new direction. And if something's not working out in your life, you have to start doing something that is going to work out. I promise you, there has been plenty of things in my life that hasn't worked out for me. But I managed to change. I managed to every single day wake up full of enthusiasm, making sure that I can provide content for people so that they can grow. Here's the thing, guys. If someone doesn't want to be with you, then you have to learn to live with it. You have to realize the thing is that you don't need these people to be in your life. You have to realize you were born without them in life. You can do without them. You can do so much more in life, regardless of if they're in your life or not. It's not the end of the world if these people don't want to be in your life or if they don't want to associate with you. The thing is that every single day you just have to look at yourself as a soulmate. You have to look at yourself as someone that you want to marry every single day. And then you have to marry yourself. You have to every single day understand that you are the person that you're searching for. I promise you, nobody else is going to be even equivalent to the individual that you are. You are unique. You have your own differences. You have to learn every single day to be with yourself in a way that you love yourself, that you generate much more happiness for yourself, that you're looking to always help yourself to grow. You don't need other people to grow. You just need yourself. All you need in life is yourself. So if you can go and learn how to live life on your own, then you can understand how to actually be independent. You can understand how to live life. You can do whatever you like to do. But the thing is that you don't need them to do it. You just need yourself. You need to be able to be a winner. You have to be a winner of life. You have to every single day understand that growth is all about dedication and understanding. And the more you understand that you don't need other people to fulfill you, and that you don't need other people to live your life for you, and that you don't need other people in your life to make you feel that you are somebody. All you need in life is to make sure that you're going towards success, understanding, and prosperity. You know what it is, guys? If you get to the point in life where you can't breathe, if you're getting to that point where you feel that you can't breathe properly, that you somehow are trying to breathe, but somehow it's not working out. I mean, it's just, you need to grow. And because you grow, then you can learn how to breathe. And now, lots of things when you breathe, you have to realize how to fulfill yourself in everything you do. You have to realize it's more in how you understand life. And when you understand life in a different way than before, then you can learn to breathe differently. You understand? You have to learn every single day how to never procrastinate, making sure you're living life on a daily basis, making sure that you understand the basics of life. You need to understand every single day, learn how to be someone that is growing. You understand? So you have to be around these people. You have to be around people who are growing. You understand? So when you get around people who are growing, you learn how to every single day do a better way of life. You learn much more in what you're doing. You learn every single day that there's always more to learn. You understand? So you have to realize that no matter what happens in life, make sure that you're somebody today who can actually breathe, who can actually grow, and who can actually do life on a better way, in terms of a better way than yesterday. You need to learn how to actually fulfill yourself every single day, making sure that you're doing things according to plan, making sure that you're planning your life, making sure every single day you're doing something that's actually going to benefit you in the long run. You see, here's the thing, guys, that what happens in life is karma. So you have to realize that if you go a certain direction in a good way and you're doing good things in the world, then people are going to see how good you are. And the thing is that if you go to a certain direction where you feel that you need to be with someone else so that you can complete yourself, so that you can live life better, because somehow you think that these people are going to bring something to your life, something that they can actually give you, that you can actually grow from, I promise you, you have to realize that these people are somewhere out there, but you don't need these people for what they have. I promise you, all you really need is your wisdom. And now, if you stick to wisdom, if you seek to learning, if you seek to every single day learn and grow with yourself, being with yourself, understanding yourself, you have to understand that's the way of life. And you have to realize it's about knowing yourself. You have to realize it's in the Bible of Jesus Christ. Know yourself. And you have to know exactly what you need in life so that you can get from A to B. And now, when you understand that there are people out there who don't want to be with you because of your appearance. They don't want to be with you because of how you look. And now you have to realize that you don't need these people to survive. You don't need them in life for anything. I promise you, all you really need in life is to like yourself, to really be with yourself and to understand yourself, and nothing else. I promise you, if you stick to understanding yourself only, and then you understand how to actually deal with yourself on a daily basis, and you understand how to love yourself if you go inside for help, if you go for yourself. And now, if you go for yourself every single day, then there's nothing in the world that can stop you from doing this. I promise you, every single day you are with yourself to live life, to make sure that you're breathing, that you're doing something on a daily basis, that you're helping yourself in some kind of way. And that's what you really need. You just need yourself every single day to make sure that you live the best lifestyle every single day, so that you understand how to actually live your life on a daily basis, so you can actually prosper, so you can grow yourself, so you can teach people, so you can teach yourself everything about life, because that's what the meaning of life is. And now the meaning of life is always making sure that you are growing. You understand? You have to realize growth is everything, and those people who grow have it all. I see, guys, here's what happens if you don't care. If you don't care about life, or overall you just don't care, then things are going to happen that are not good in your life. You have to realize you have to start caring. You have to care about more things in life, because when you start caring about things overall, then you start to actually develop yourself as a human. You start to actually go places. You start to actually do things much better. It's better to care than not to care. Overall, I'm talking about. And now when you care about what other people think of you, then you have to realize it's much more about your opinion than their opinion. So you have to realize it's much more about understanding all the perspectives of life and not just yours. So it's about keeping an open mind. And when you keep an open mind to life, then you can go places, you can do things, you can actually express yourself, you can actually help yourself in some kind of way. And now that's the whole point of living. And now when you live truly, when you're truly living, then you're really understanding how to actually communicate with yourself and other people. And now you have to get to the point where you can create something of interest that other people need to listen to, you understand? So once you get to that point where you're creating a lot of content every single day in your life, then things start to open up. And you have to realize things in terms of prosperity, richness, money in your life, or whatever it is. You have to realize that no matter what happens, you have to always be in a state of growth. You have to, every single day, understand that it's about freedom, and it's about understanding your choices and your decisions, and understanding how to go about every single it's about understanding how to go about every single situation in your life, to understand how to actually progress forward, to understand the mindset that you need to have, for example. So you have to be reading, you have to be every single day being consistent with what you're doing. You have to understand that because I do this audio program for you, I understand it's more how I care because of this. You understand? I care this way. So this is how I care about people in some kind of way. But the thing is that what I'm trying to express is myself. I'm trying to express the person I am, but I'm also trying to give someone like you or other people a guide. I'm trying to give them a guide of information where they can rely upon something much greater, so that you can understand it's about the greater picture. It's about something that is today, something that is really updated information about everything. And when you give updated information about everything, you have to understand that you have to be like a psychologist, you have to be like a psychiatrist, you have to be someone who understands things like a scientist. And now, understand that you don't know everything about everything, but the thing is that you must not know about anything about life. You understand? You have to keep progressing in your life so that you can understand not to know. And when you not know things, then you can understand how to grow from it. You have to understand that you have to get to a place of solitude with your life, where you can understand how to talk, where you can understand how to vibrate, where you can understand how to give your energy toward people, because that's how you actually manifest a greater vibration. You see, the way I don't waste time in my life is when I'm talking words. And now when I'm talking words, I'm always understanding much more about what I say and what I do. And because I understand exactly what I say and what I do, then I'm understanding that I have to make more common sense in my daily life through talking words and through understanding what I talk about. And when I talk about things in life, I start to express myself, and because I express myself, I get to places. I start actually talking in ways that I've never talked before. And that leads to something. That leads to me being a generous kind of individual, because I'm actually helping out in some kind of way by talking words, by actually providing information to people. I'm giving them information based on my life, based on everything. And because I do that, I try to give people a certain direction to follow so that they understand how to live life better. See guys, do you know how hard it is for a music artist today, for example, to make something that is not to make something, but to get to the point where, hey, now people recognize you for your music, now you're successful in the music industry, now people want you to go festivals, now they want you to go nightclubs, they're always calling you to go to these places like festivals and nightclubs now, and you're traveling the world like Steve Aoki and Tiesto, and you're on radio and stuff. I mean, you have to realize it's really difficult for an artist who's starting out in the music industry to break through to a better ground. You understand? You have to realize, imagine you just first start music and you start creating music and no one listens to your music. You understand? No one's listening to your music, and you're sending your music out here and there. You're getting some bad feedback for it. You're getting some good feedback for it. And it's like you're putting all this money into your music and stuff. And it's like you're getting somewhere, but at the same time, you're not getting to the point where you need to be. You understand? So you have to realize, for example, with my music career, you have to realize it's much more how, when I first started out to do music production, I didn't have direction in my music. I didn't have direction in what direction I wanted to go in. So then I realized I was making music and stuff. I wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't quite making music that was really great to listen to. Even though the music that I always create, in terms of the music I create now especially, I listen to it much more often these days because it's something that I enjoy. You understand? So you have to realize that I don't make music for other people. I make it for myself. You understand? So when I feel that I need new music in my life, I just make new music that I've never heard before. But the thing is, it's so hard to get recognized about what you do. You understand? So you have to realize, no matter what it is, I realize, especially in the music industry, I realize it's much more if you want to get on the radio, if you want to go nightclubs, if you want to go festivals and you want to DJ at all these places and you want to have your music play in advertisements, and you have to realize that's all about success, isn't it? But you have to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent in what you do, and you don't know if you're going to make it or not. You understand? You don't know if your music is going to be recognized by people as something big. You understand? So make sure you understand that it's really difficult to get to a point where not that you're not satisfied with your music, but it's much more how it's just to the point where you want to be. You understand? You want to go festivals, you want to go nightclubs, you want to be on radio, you want people to call you to places so you can play your music. I realize when you get to that point, I realize it's much more how it's going to be better, isn't it? But the thing is that it's the journey there. You understand? It's just, hey, you have to find time to make music now, and you have to realize you have to make music when no one's listening to it. I realize no one's calling you to go DJ places. I realize not many people are watching your social media account. I realize you're not on radio, and it's like, that's discouragement, it's discouragement that other people are not calling you, that you're not going festivals, that you're not going that you're not going to nightclubs, that your music is not on radio, that you're not successful as other artists are. So in order to become something even greater in your music career or in any kind of career, you have to really stay consistent about what you do, and you have to be happy along the way, you understand? I realize it's not about being as successful as other people. It's more about you being more successful than yesterday. So if you can just keep going with whatever you're doing, making sure that you're producing more content, making sure you're learning from it, making sure you're learning exactly what you need to learn, I realize it's much more how you have to start understanding that you're going to get places as long as you're still producing content, as long as you're still doing something to make sure that you can get heard and that you can get to places where you need to be. You understand? So it's not easy for a music artist or a vocalist or a life coach or anybody for any kind of passion to get recognized. You understand? So you have to do a lot of work. You have to do a lot of work first. And then you have to get to the point where you're really, really good at something. When you're really good at something, and then you share it around, and then if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? If something happens with your passions in terms of your life where you can, you're starting to progress now, you're starting to get to a better place now, I realize it's much more, anything can happen. So you just have to understand that in the meantime, for example, my music career, I've been in the music industry for 6 years now. You have to realize it's coming up to 6 years. And it's like I'm starting to get to places where I'm producing at least decent music that I can listen to. You understand? So I'm producing music that I can listen to. And it's not bad music. It's not the best music. But I realize it can get me to a nightclub. I can play at festivals. You understand? So it's much more, what's my next steps in terms of my music production? It's much more how, in terms of my music career, I have to start making more music, even though nobody listens to it that much. You understand? So nobody is really following me as much. You understand? It's much more how, yes, some people probably are following me, but it's not like the whole world's following me, or it's not like I have success like Tiesto or Armin van Buuren and all these people that I listen to, you understand? But it's like, you want to break through, you want to create something so good that people can listen to, so that you can be successful, so that you can provide for your family, so that you can have money in life. You understand? So it's like, when you're first starting out in anything, it's a struggle, you understand? It's a struggle to keep going in some direction when nobody is listening to you except yourself. And it's like, you have to create this success, it's like a game. And so it's like a game you're playing, but it's not a game either. It's like you're trying to be successful and you're trying to get to places, you're trying to be much more than you are. And it's like you just have to describe it in words. You just have to keep going. You have to keep believing in yourself that you can someday make it to a nightclub, that you can someday make it to a festival, that someday someone's going to call you, that someday you're going to go up to people and you're going to ask for an opportunity, that you're going to send your music out, share it around, and see who likes it. You understand? So it's like, yes, my music and my career in terms of my life coaching and everything is changing people's lives, but I'm still not at the point where I want to be at. I still want to be more successful. I want to be creating more things. I want to express myself more. I want to help myself to do better, but I have to enjoy this moment. I have to enjoy where I'm at now. And now if I never achieve all those dreams that I want to achieve, then it's not the end of the world for me. You understand? I can still make music. I can still make life coaching programs. I can still do all my passions, even though lots of people are not listening to me. You understand? So it's not the end of the world. I realize I don't care if people listen to my content or not. You understand? I want to share it around. I want people to listen. But it's like, if they don't want to listen to my content, I don't care. You understand? So it's much more how I realize how difficult it can be for a person to break through. You understand? To break through into a way of success in what they do. You understand? You just have to stay consistent. You have to keep creating things. You have to keep enjoying your life. I realize, don't try to get to a point where other people are at. Don't try to be as successful as other people. Try to be more successful than yesterday. You understand? Try to be in your life for yourself to be more successful than you are yesterday. For yourself. And then try for yourself to be a better version of you in all areas of life, regardless of other people. You understand? So, yes, I realize my music is right now good enough to listen to, in my perspective. I realize it's a nice music that I have, and my audio programs and everything I do with my life coaching is nice to see. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to listen to, but I still have to get to a better place. I still have to believe in myself that I can break through, that I can eventually get to the place that I want to go. And how do I get there? I have to speak more words. I have to listen to more silence. I have to watch more images. I have to make sure I'm coaching myself more. I have to make sure that I'm doing a better job overall. In a sense, so it's much more, it's a journey, you understand? So deadmau5 told me over his video program, and he said, it may take you 20 years, it may take you 30 years, it may take you 6 years, it may take you 2 years to really get good at something that you need to do. You understand? He says, it might take you that long. It might take you 5 years, 6 years to get to the point where you need to be. You understand? So, for example, you have to realize it's different for everyone. The more work you put in, the more you get out. You understand? So you have to realize, if you really want to get to a point where you're doing good things in the planet, where you're realizing, hey, yes, I'm doing good things. I have to do better. I have to do more. I have to speak more words. I have to realize that there is something that I can do to make sure that my life is getting better and better and better. I promise you, that's all you have to do. I realize, don't worry about anything else. I realize, just understand that you just need to get better and better and better. I realize if you stick to getting better, regardless of what happens, I realize, just make sure that you're satisfied. Make sure that you're happy. Don't try to get to places where you're not happy. Don't get to places where you're not right now in those moments and stuff like that. You have to realize it's more about making sure that you're happy with your work, doing a good job for yourself, making sure that you're progressing in your life in some kind of way. You understand? So make sure, as long as you're progressing in some kind of way, making sure that you're better than yesterday in some kind of way, I promise you that's going to fulfill you. You understand? So you have to realize, yes, I want to be as successful as Tiesto. I want to be successful like David Guetta and all these people. You understand? So the thing is, I'm already successful to some degree. You understand? So it's like, yes, I want to achieve their success. You understand? I want to achieve their success. But once I get to those moments where, let's say, I achieve that kind of success that they have, then I'm always going to want even more than that. I'm always going to want more than what I have. You understand? Because when I want more and when I do more, I'm more satisfied. And then if I just don't do anything anymore, if I quit my music career now, if I quit my life coaching, if I quit what I do, then I'm not going to be as satisfied. You understand? I'm not going to be, for example, the person I need to be. In a sense, so I'm always becoming, aren't I? I'm always becoming into that individual that I need to be. But I have to create that for myself. I have to speak the words of that. I have to make sure that I get to the place that I want to be at. You know, sometimes it's really difficult for me to start creating something. You know, because sometimes I don't feel like doing anything. You know, sometimes I don't have the motivation to keep on creating things. You understand? So where I find my motivation is in the words. As long as I can speak words, I'm motivated. You understand? If I can speak words of myself on a daily basis, in every single moment, then I can stay motivated in some kind of way. You understand? So it's more about understanding that, yes, you want to break through as an artist. You want to make sure that people understand you, that people recognize you, that people cherish your work, that they cherish the person you are. You understand? You want some validation. I understand that. I understand you want to become so successful that people say, hey, this guy is the thing, or this person's the thing in life. This person has good music. This person has good life coaching techniques. This person has a perspective. This person has whatever it is. I understand that you want to make it. I understand you want to make it to a better way. I understand that you want to get to a better place in your life. I realize we all want to get to a better place in our lives. You understand? I realize it just takes time, doesn't it? It takes time to get to that place. I realize if it happened overnight, then it wouldn't, like, you have to realize if everything happened overnight, then it wouldn't be the journey that it is. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen overnight. I realize success doesn't happen overnight, even though it does. You know what I'm saying? So you have to set realistic goals. You know what I'm saying? Something that you can achieve. Don't set goals that you can't achieve. You understand? Don't set goals that you don't think that you can achieve. Set goals that you think are realistic for you, that you can achieve, and work toward realistic aspects of life. In a sense, so the thing is that for me in my music production now, I realize for me it's just about make that fucking next track. Make the next track. Make some new sounds. Just play around with the software. Play around, see what you can do, and you'll learn something from it. You understand? So it's much more create something that you never created before, make sure it sounds decent, and it's like eventually, you never know. You might go to a nightclub, you might go to a festival, you just never know. I realize that at the moment, me going to a nightclub and me being at a nightclub to DJ and me being at a festival to DJ is not realistic for me. It's not realistic because it's not happening right now for me. I've been doing music production for almost 6 years now, and I still have not made it to a nightclub. I still have not DJed in my life in front of people. You know, so the thing is that you have to realize, yes, it's a long journey. 6 years is a long time. You know, 6 years, you can do a lot in 6 years of time. You know, I created around 300 tracks. I mean, you have to realize that's at least 300 days of sitting on the computer. You know what I'm saying? Sitting on the computer making something. And along the journey, I've been happy. I've been happy making music. I've been happy creating things in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, you want to get to a better place, but you have to start now. You know what I'm saying? You have to start now, this moment. This is only the beginning of what's to come. You understand? You have to be prepared for everything. You understand? And the only way to be prepared about it is to plan it. You have to start planning your life. You have to realize it's not just about your music career, it's about your health as well. It's about how else are you helping people? You understand? Are you speaking enough words in life? Are you trying to manifest something better? Are you trying to do better for yourself? You understand? So you have to realize it's just about understanding, you understand, understanding how to get to better places in your life and trying to make common sense. I realize if you can make common sense in daily life about everything, then that's the success you need. I realize that's all you need. You just need to make more common sense with yourself, understanding that, yes, I understand it's difficult to get to a place where you want to go. I understand it's very difficult, you understand? But you have to keep going. You have to keep being simple about it. You have to start doing more work now so that you can get to better places. You understand? So you have to keep working. You have to keep being someone who's always working. You understand? Working at something. Even if it's little, make sure you work on everything. Work on everything you can to make sure you get to a better place. You see, guys, this is how I make common sense of everything. I see in every single moment, I'm trying to speak words. I'm trying to speak as many words as I can. So I'm not trying to go in a fast pace. I'm not trying to go quickly to speak words. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just speak words at a normal tempo. And when I speak words of this moment, I try to make sense of it. And I'm trying to make sense of this moment right now in terms of what I'm talking to you about, for example. So the thing is that when I speak words, I can only then make common sense of everything. So you have to realize it's only through the words that you speak that you dig deep into your mindset, and then you start realizing that there's something to do. There's something to actually come by. You know, so you have to realize it's much more about every single day understanding exactly what you're saying and why you're saying it, but understanding exactly how to actually go about everything in your life so that you can get to one point in your life where you can do better. So you have to realize it's about understanding your perspective, understanding life, understanding exactly this moment. So, for example, you have to realize, so let's say it's you, for example. Let's say you're sitting down on the couch, it's all silent, and what do? Do you just watch the TV? Do you just watch your thoughts? Do you just stay silent? What do you do in your life? So for me, for example, when I sit on the couch or when I'm walking somewhere or when I'm doing something or whatever I'm doing in life, I try to speak words in that moment. And when I speak words in that moment, I then make common sense of the situation. I just start making common sense about exactly what's going on in my life through words. In a sense, so when I express myself much better, I feel much better about myself. I start to actually see exactly what I need to do, and then I express myself in some kind of way in terms of words, and then I actually get to a better place in my life. So that's what I'm trying to speak about right now. I'm trying to help to elaborate things for you so that you can understand exactly how to live life. So when I live life, I just speak words as much as I can, and because I speak words, that's me working, that's me doing something to make sense of the situation. You understand? So when I make sense of the situation, I get happier. See, everyone, you have to understand, this is how I meditate in my daily life. So when I live my life every single day, I seek to say for myself in my life, I say to myself, I see what's happening. I understand what I need to do. I understand I have to do I grow myself in every single kind of way. I make sure that I live my life the best way I can. I see what they're saying. I understand exactly what I have. I understand anyway, I'm going to grow. I'm going to grow anyway. I'm going to make sure that I live my life the best way I can. I'm going to do whatever I can to succeed. I understand every single day, whatever happens in my life is happening for me. I understand this is how I give ideas. I understand all I have to do is talk words, and that's that. I see anyway, so when I grow myself every single day, I realize to always say more words. I understand this is my prayer that I say to God. I see this is what I say to you, just for you and for everything else. I see anyway, I realize my dad's going to pass away. I realize my mum's going to pass away. I realize everyone's passing away. But that's a good thing, because God said it's good. I see anyway, I'm going to live on. Everyone's going to live on. I understand I'm going to grow the best way I can so I can grow myself in any kind of way that I can. I'm going to do more than ever before. I'm going to try to do the best job I can. I'm going to make sure that I live my life the best way I can. I understand every single day I'm going to do the most I can do so that I can live my life the best way I can. Anyway, I realize all I want to do every single day is just give a lot of information. I want to be making sure that I can help in some kind of way. I want to make sure that I can do a better job every single day so I can live my life the best way I can. Anyway, guys, this is how I actually talk to myself on a daily basis. I try to actually always find something to do. I try to always find words to say. I try to always find the best way I can do life. I try to always do the best job I can so I can help myself to succeed. I realize life is not a competition with other people. I understand that. I understand that life is about helping other people to succeed. So if someone wants your girl, I realize if someone wants your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, I realize you have to let them have it. I realize it's much more let people have things. I realize the more you let go of what you have, the more you'll have what you need. I realize it's much more how I always understand how to talk, because I understand how to actually live my life. I understand my life is not perfect. I understand I realize it never will be perfect. I understand that my life is also perfect and that it will always be perfect to me. I realize although I understand that there's so much improvement to go, I understand there's so much to do every single day. I understand that life can be a poem if you understand how to say. I understand anyway, so just realize, guys, that I'm always talking in a nice and beautiful way so that I can help myself to explain some things every single day. I'm understanding that if you want to do something every single day to succeed or to help yourself to do whatever it takes, to do whatever it takes to succeed. Approach it, that's what it's all about. I realize I just have to always understand that I have to talk a melody in my life. I have to talk about something, because every single day I talk about something, I always express myself in some kind of way. I understand that it's much more about living the best kind of way. I understand if I want to do something to help myself to succeed, I have to always find the words to say so that I can help myself to daydream in life in any kind of way. I understand if I want to help myself to understand something about life, I have to always dig in for words. I have to always make sure that I'm meaning the best for everybody. I understand if I do something to succeed in my daily life, then I'm going to say whatever it is that helps me to succeed. I'm going to always speak the words that I can to make sure that people can live the best, so that I'm always going to speak the words I can so that people can always live in the best way possible, so that everyone can understand how to actually play the game. I realize life is a game. I understand that my time on this earth is coming to an end. I realize although I understand that I'll always live on no matter what happens in the end. I realize anyway, I understand every single day just try to always find the words to say. I realize when you find the words to say, life will be a magnificent melody in your life, and you'll always be able to do something in your life to be able to succeed, to be able to understand, and to be able to make common sense. I understand if you want to help yourself to succeed every single day, you have to always reach in for words. You have to, every single day, make sure that you're always living the best life you can. I realize that's what life is about. I realize life is about learning. I realize life is about growing. I realize life is about helping people. I realize you have to understand, I don't have kids in my life. I realize it's much more at this point in my life. I realize how I can have kids. I can go out there. I can work all my life, and I'm always working. But the thing is that I want to teach. I want to teach as much as I can, because I understand something, that even though I haven't made a great name for myself yet, I realize although my information speaks for itself. I realize it's much more how many people are not following me these days because they think that somehow my information is evil. I realize I'm not an evil person. I just have words to say. I realize it's much more how I just speak my mind, and it's not about me being famous. I don't care about being famous. I care about helping people. I care about every single day understanding that I can speak words, that I can live my life the way I need to live it, that I can always understand what I need to understand. I have to always grow. I have to always make sure that I'm living my life the best way I can. I understand it's much more how I need to always understand how to grow. I have to always do the best job I can so I can live my life the best way. I understand every single day, no matter what happens, that I'm always going to love this world. I'm always going to help myself to succeed. I realize my world is in the world of wisdom. I realize that's my world. I realize my world is wisdom. I understand anywhere I search for wisdom, I can always go. I can always go wherever I want to go. I realize I can achieve anything I set my mind to because my mind is the words I speak. I realize my beauty and the way I speak my words is everything to me. I realize every single day I'm always helping myself to understand how I can live my life. I realize I want to be alone, but then again, I understand how to be alone. I understand every single day that life is to be lived alone. I understand I came into this world alone. I'm going to die alone. Yeah. And guess what? I'm not ashamed about it. I understand every single day that's just a part of life. But you have to understand every single day that no matter what, that we're all together. Everyone's together in this world. I see when we care for each other. I see when we do something to help each other every single day to live that life that we can live. I realize all we have to do is always seek for the words. Seek for the faith. Seek for everything that we can to help us grow. I realize no matter what, I realize I have always more to say. I always have a better mindset than yesterday. I understand if I want to help myself to do anything in my life, I need to be able to always grow the best way I can. I need to always understand information. I need to go through information. I need to every single day help my mindset to grow. I need to understand that if I want to go out there and make events around people, or if I want to advertise myself online, or if I want to brand myself or become good in people's eyes, I have to do good in the world. I have to make sure that I get out there as much as possible and try to communicate my way to success. I understand it's the only way that I can do life. I understand that I'm not going to be in this position forever. I understand whatever's happening for me right now is going to happen in a better time also. But I understand also that life moves on and that what stays the same also changes throughout time. I understand that this audio program sounds like a poem, but I'm understanding also that I understand how to speak and also teach within everything I do. I understand that if I try to actually grow myself in any kind of way, I want to make sure that I'm never negative and that I'm always positive in no matter what I say. I want to make sure that if I grow myself in my mindset, I want to make sure that people understand my mindset, that people truly understand how much I want to help, that people spread the word about Danny Milivojevic, that they always share me around as much as possible so that I live on in this world. I understand that maybe you are someone who is struggling, or maybe you want to help yourself to succeed. That's why I understand information is the way. And if you understand how to go through information every single day, you can study information, you can actually grow from it, you can actually do whatever you want from it. And you'll be able to always explain yourself in a way that you've never explained before. And you have to understand it's much more always explain yourself and always try to explain more about yourself. I mean, try to always be in the spotlight as much as possible, but understand that no matter what, that life always comes to an end. I see when life comes to an end, that's when life begins. I realize there is no ending in this world. I understand there is only a beginning. I see every single day you're always beginning to live. I realize that's the whole point of a journey. I realize the journey of life happens for a reason. I realize many people don't listen to me because they think that somehow my information is going to they think that my information is not going to help them. I realize the thing is that those people who think like this, in a way that negative information goes into the world, And you have to realize that positive information always fills up negativity. But the thing is that my information is always positive. I always try to be a positive person. And I'm understanding that I never try to do negative information. I try to care about negative information. I try to care about what the news is saying. I try to care about everything. So if someone says that someone has been killed, or something has been in a car accident, or somebody died in a bombing, or somebody died whatever, I realize I try to care about that information. I try to nurture that information. You know what I'm saying? I try to help myself to understand everything about life. I realize the good and the bad. I try to understand it. I try to understand, yes, there's always going to be negative information going in life, but you have to understand negative information helps you to understand it. And you have to understand everything about life, regardless of what it is. And you have to care about all kinds of information, no matter if it's positive or negative. So every single day I'm understanding that every single day I have to reach in for words. I have to always reach in for a better mindset. I have to teach my mindset to people because I have something special. I have a mindset. I have something that people need. I have something that people need in their life. And I understand that the more I grow my mindset, the more people have to hear it, and the more people have to understand exactly what I'm talking about, because I understand how to get to a place of richness. I understand how to get to a place of spirituality. I understand how to actually live my life on a daily basis, because I'm always doing my life in a better way. And now I'm understanding that if you always want to grow within what you say, you just have to speak the words regardless of anything that's happening in your life. I realize when you talk words every single day, and no matter what happens, you're always going to find your way. I realize every single day, just find the way of life. I mean, find and seek something even greater than what you are. I promise you, try to always help in a greater way. Try to always understand that there's always a way to help people. See, even though people have to have information, they also have to have a lot of information. I realize information is something that nurtures you. It makes you a better person to be around. I understand every single day that the more information you have, the wiser you become as a human being. I understand that people have called me everything in life. I realize everything that I am is everything. I realize I just have to always understand that you have to understand that back then when I was younger, I'm always growing younger every single day. But the thing is that there is such thing as getting old. And when you get old, you get wiser. But when you get younger also, you get wiser also. And then you have to understand that no matter what happens, never stop seeking information. Never stop seeking something that can help you. I understand that if you always understand something about life, you're always going to get to a better place in life if you really understand how to grow. I realize every single day you always have to do something to help yourself to always stay connected, to understand, to separate yourself from the pack and make sure that you help people regardless of what you're doing. I understand that no matter what, try to stand out. Try to actually every single day do something that is unique. Do something every single day that people can consume your information, that they can help you in some kind of way, so that you can help other people as well, so that you can understand how to grow, so you can understand it's about consuming information and it's about giving information. So what you consume is what you give, and what you give is positive information. You try to grow people's mindsets, you try to grow, you try to do whatever you can to speak words. I realize every single day I'm understanding that no matter what, that if I leave anything on the table, then I'm going to leave ideas. I'm understanding that every single day I'm going to try to do more. I'm going to try to push myself in my comfort zone. I'm going to try to change my behaviors and try to every single day live the best life that I can live in information and inside wisdom. I'm going to try get all the wisdom of the world that I can in my life. I'm going to try and nurture myself the best way I can. I'm going to do whatever it takes to take care of myself in every single kind of way. I'm going to make sure I get enough sleep, that I'm going to make sure that I make common sense, that I make everything come true for me. Because I understand that's what life is. I understand life is always about helping yourself to grow. understanding much more information, understanding how to get smarter, understanding that no matter what happens, that you have to always help people. And now you have to understand also that people who don't want to be helped, so I realize you have to let them be. I realize you can help everyone that is willing to learn. I realize those people who are I realize those people who are not real. I realize I can say that those people who are not willing to learn, I realize you can't teach them. You understand? They have to teach themselves how to learn. I realize although you can teach people who are willing to learn, and you have to realize you can do anything in this world, but you have to understand how to try to convince people to a better way of mindset. You have to understand you have to sell yourself, you have to brand yourself, you have to come off as a person who is a role model, and you have to understand you're an individual, you're an entity, and you have to make good in this world. I realize never do evil things in the world, never do anything of violence. Make sure every single day you learn from your mistakes. Try to every single day do the best job you can. I realize if I was ever in prison right now, I understand that I would be doing wisdom work. I would be actually working on myself regardless of the situation. I realize that every single day you have hope in making sure that you grow from everything that you are. Try to grow wherever you are. I understand that people can always live a greater life if they create more meaning in their life. I realize the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you understand life, the more you understand how to grow. And you have to always understand that there's always more work to do, you understand? Or understand how it is when people are not listening to you, you understand? I understand when you got something to say and when people are not following you, and when you're doing something and when you're doing everything you can to help people, but they don't want to cherish it, they don't want to go through that information. I understand how it is, but you have to realize that somehow you are making an impact in the world regardless of that information. I understand that regardless of what's happening in your life, that you have made a difference in the world in some kind of way. I realize the moment you came into this world, you made a difference. You understand? You tried to always make sure that in some kind of aspect of your life that you're doing better in some kind of aspect, you understand? And you have to understand that when you came into this world, you shined light into this world. You have to understand that you are totally innocent in this world. And no matter what happens, that nobody can ever put anything on you. You have to understand everyone's innocent in this world, no matter what they do, because they don't know what they're doing. You have to understand that people who kill people don't know what they're doing. You have to realize that because they got some negative information in their life, you have to realize that's why they did it. You have to understand it's because they didn't learn in life. They didn't learn how to overcome those feelings. They didn't know how to understand how to overcome their situation. So they had to do a bad thing in the world so that they could learn from it. You understand? So you have to realize everyone's innocent. No matter what happens in life, just make sure that you stay around innocence in life. Stay around people who are doing good things. You understand? So if you stay around good things in life, you're always going to have good things happen for you. You understand? So you have to realize that the more good things you do in life every single day, the better your life is going to be. I understand that no matter what happens, you always have to find something to say. You always have to find something to do. You have to understand that no matter what happens in your life, you're always doing better. You're always teaching the better mindset. You're always teaching something that's growing you, that's actually helping you to understand more about life. Understand that no matter what happens, never ever be upset about how much you're doing. Make sure you understand, try to always understand that you're trying your best to do as much content as possible every single day, that you're trying to actually grow in some kind of way. So make sure that no matter what happens, that people have the best information of the world every single day, because that's way, in terms of that way, you have to understand you have to be doing content. You have to be doing a lot of content. And when you do a lot of content, then you can understand much more about life. I realize if you want to be set free in this life, it's not the money that's going to set you free. I realize money is a good thing, and it's a good thing to have in life. And money is wisdom. You have to understand money is wisdom. So if you just go for wisdom instead of money, then you're going to always have what you need. Yes, and you have to realize money is a good thing. It's just wisdom. You have to understand every single day, many people think that money is a bad thing, that people think that money is evil. You have to understand money is not evil. Money is a good thing. Money is a tool. Money is something that you can help yourself to grow with. You have to understand every single day, anything that's a means of transaction is called money and wisdom. You have to understand everything's wisdom in life. All the words of the dictionary is wisdom. I realize every single day, try to do the best job you can. Every single day, understanding that no matter what happens, you're always going to live in the best way you can. So that you understand that no matter what happens, that you're going to do something to always understand how to live life. You understand? You have to live life. You have to truly see exactly how you're going to live. You understand? You have to always understand to see it before it happens. And always understand that there's always more to go around. You understand? There's always more information. There's always more money to go around. There's always much more giving to do. You understand? You have to understand there's always more work to do. And you have to understand that no matter what happens, always try to do the best job you can. And always push yourself to make sure that you're giving content, that you're always doing a much better job than yesterday, that you're always living the best life you can. You understand? You have to, no matter what happens, always live the best life you can. You understand? You have to always do something that no matter what, that you've never done before, so that you can understand something new, that you're doing something new in your life, that you're always trying something new, to experiment, to do something with everything that you can give, so you can understand life, so you can understand a better way of doing something in life. So every single day, try to give much more mindset, try to give much more work, try to give much more of whatever it is that you're giving, so that you understand that no matter what, that you're giving something of some kind of nature that is nice, that is positive, that is good will, that is your heart, that is your soul. You're giving a lot of work. You're making sure you're making your dreams come true. You understand? Your dreams have to be wisdom. You have to understand your dreams has to be something that is just learning. You have to be always learning in your dream. Or else you have to be living in your life in a way that you're always accordance to what you're saying. You're always doing your actions to your words. You're always understanding that your actions have to feed your words. And you have to understand that your words have to feed your actions as well. And you have to understand you have to connect the dots. You have to understand, search for information out there, because that information is always going to make you wiser. It's going to make you a better person to be around. It's going to make sure every single day that your life is the best it can be. So seek that information. Seek as much information as possible every single day. Try to understand that no matter what happens, that information is always going to be your comfort zone, and it's always going to be making you uncomfortable as well. In a sense, so you have to realize every single day, no matter what, make sure that you're always growing. Make sure every single day that you're always doing something for the planet to grow. Yes, and so every single day, try to give as much information as possible. Try to live your life the best way you can, and then try to help as many people as you can in this world, so that you can be set free, so that you can understand all you're trying to achieve in that is wisdom. All you're trying to achieve is a greater way of life, you understand? So you have to realize you have to push yourself for that. You have to push yourself to work every single day. You have to understand work comes in all formats, and everybody needs to be working. You understand? You have to be working on yourself the most. You have to realize everything of this world is you. You understand? So no matter what, everyone's trying to work at something. Everyone's trying to learn at something. I realize you have to understand every single day. Try to understand that no matter what, every single day, no matter what happens, you're always living that life that you need to live. You understand? You're traveling, you're living, you're doing something. You have to also realize that when you travel through words. You travel as much as you can. Try to always be traveling in your life. Try to always understand that life is where you go. You have to realize where you go is your words. And where your words go is where you are, and that's who you are, and that's what you stand for, you understand? And people have to understand what you stand for. They have to understand exactly what you mean about life, and you have to understand you have to be helping in some kind of way. So always seek to help people, always seek to find the information to say, and try to always live that lifestyle that you can live, that you can always do something in your life to help make something come true for yourself, you understand? So you have to always understand that life isn't perfect, but life is perfect also. And you have to understand every single day your life has to be much better than perfect, and it has to be every single day better and better and better, so that you can understand every single day about wisdom, and so you can understand that no matter what, that all you're trying to do is grow as a person. And that's the life that you need to be living. You have to be living that life where you're growing. You have to understand that growth is everywhere, And wherever you go, you're always expanding your comfort zone as much as possible when you're growing. And you have to realize that no matter what, every single day, always do leadership, always do as much content as you can, so that you can understand how to feed your mind, so that you can understand how to actually do something in your life that's going to help you. You understand? So no matter what happens, every single day, do as much as you can so you can live life to the best aspect, so that you can understand that no matter what, that you can do the best job you can, so that you can live in some kind of way that you've never lived before, so you can do things and experience things that you've never experienced before, so you can understand how you can talk about it and you can live about it and you can actually help people with that information. So if it's not helping other people, then don't do it. You have to realize, do something that only helps other people, and that way you're always going to understand that you're always giving an experience of some kind, and that people can understand your experience, and the more they understand your experience, the better you've helped them in life. I say, guys, welcome back to my program. And now you have to realize why I do my programs and why I coach people, for example. You have to realize that when I coach people, I'm really seeking to coach myself something. I'm trying to find some information about myself that I can give. And I'm trying to talk in a different way, because I understand that when I talk in different ways, that's how I learn. So I learn through speaking words, and I learn through looking at people. I learn through feelings. I learn through silence. I learn through every single kind of way that you can learn. Although you have to understand that all I'm trying to say is everything that I learn and everything that I am is through the words I speak. So you have to understand that the only way that I truly learn is when I speak words. So when I'm speaking words, I can go any place I want to go. I can do whatever I want to do, and I can overcome any obstacle that I want to overcome. I'm just saying that the only way to really learn is to speak your words. And when you speak your words, you have to realize it becomes something of nature. It becomes something of a better way. You have to realize it's much more how every single time I learn something that comes true for me in my life, it's because I spoke the words. And you have to understand that when I'm learning something, when I'm every single day dedicated to my passion of music production and words, and you have to understand, because I'm speaking a lot of words every single day, I get to experience things that I've never experienced before. And what did I experience today? You have to understand that it's much more how I'm experiencing things that I learn. And when I'm learning and growing, when I'm always doing something to help myself to succeed, I'm always looking at the better picture. I'm always looking at the better ideas. Where can I find my ideas? How can I do better? I'm always asking myself questions so that I can live my life much better. I realize it's much more how I always have to dive into information. And when I dive into information, I always find something that is useful. Because you have to realize that wisdom is something that always helps you. And it's something that's always growing you as well. So you always have to seek wisdom in life. And when you seek wisdom in life, you're always going to learn something from it. So I understand that if I ever had kids one day, I understand that I'll teach them all these kind of things that I can. Because I understand that it's much more about helping them to understand a mindset that I have personally. And it's a positive mindset that I have. And all that people have to understand about everything I've done in life is that the words that I've spoken are helping people. And because I'm helping people on a different level every single day, I'm trying to always do content. I'm trying to push myself to do content and stuff. Because I understand it's important. I realize it's important to do as much as possible. You understand? Because you have to do something in life. And I'd rather do this than anything else in the world. Because this to me means everything. And it means it means that I'm helping people. It means that I'm living my life to the fullest. I understand that when I'm living life to the fullest, I'm speaking words. I understand I'm trying to always help myself in some kind of way that I've never helped myself before, so that I can live like I've never lived before. So I have to understand it's always about helping as much as possible, living that great life that I need to live. And in order to get to that place that I want to go, I have to speak a lot of words to get there. And I understand that the more words I speak every single day, the more I can motivate myself, the more I can be disciplined, the more I can achieve obstacles in a way that I can achieve overcoming obstacles in my life. I can do whatever I need. I promise you I can do whatever I need in my life because I can speak the words. And you have to understand it's always about intentional growth, and it's always about growing yourself in ways you've never grown before, doing something that you've never done before, you understand? So you have to always go the new way, you have to go the new direction. And when you go the new direction in life, what happens is you start to speak words, you start to actually create this enthusiasm about life. And when you create a lot of enthusiasm about life, then people can see what you are understanding about life, and people can see your reputation and how you're helping people, and people can see exactly who you are by the words you speak. And so you always have to be positive every single day, understanding that you have to do as much content as possible so that you can live a great life, so that you can help yourself to succeed, so that you can go places in life wherever you want to go. And now you have to understand that the way I look at it, for example, is that as long as I'm growing, I understand I'm unstoppable. Then I understand I have to always grow to be able to understand more about my life. And the more I grow myself and the more I show as much as possible about my life, I realize it's much more how I keep things private sometimes. And you have to understand that the things I learn, I try to always teach it as much as possible, and I try to showcase my life online because I got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to hide in my life, so I want to be able to do as much as possible so that I can help myself to succeed. And you have to understand that if you ever want to do something every single day that helps you to do something much better, then it's much more how you have to speak words. You have to understand you have to be a word freak, and you have to always dwell upon the words because the words are something that helps you so much. I promise you, when you are listening to words, when you're speaking words, that's how you learn. You have to understand words are the only factor in your life that are either preventing you from growing or that are also something that grows you. You understand? So you have to understand, depending on how you talk on a daily basis is how you grow. You understand? So you have to realize that today I've grown somewhat. I've grown somewhat today. And I understand that it's just when you find yourself in this position where you're just in the house and stuff and you're trying to grow and stuff, but you're in just one position. But the thing is that it's like you want to move around, you want to go places, you want to do things. I understand how it is, but then you're stuck in the house. You're stuck in the house, but then there's no better place than being home. You understand? So you have to realize it's much more how you just have to push yourself to communicate. You have to push yourself to grow in some kind of way. And understand how growth is. I promise you, growth is not the comfort zone. You understand? So when you're growing, you're not in comfort. You're always trying to push yourself to grow. You're always trying to help yourself in some kind of way. And when you help yourself in some kind of way to learn, to grow, and to do the best job possible for yourself, to have a great mindset, then it's like it takes discomfort for you to understand that you have to be in discomfort to grow. You have to every single day understand that there is a way to grow, and that I found the way to grow. I found how I grow personally. And because I understand how to grow, I understand how to overcome everything in my life. And that's such an achievement in my life. It's such a big, I understand it's such a big achievement in my life to be able to grow the way I do. Because I understand that before I wasn't able to do this. I wasn't able to grow like this. And now, because I can grow like this, I understand now I feel unstoppable. I feel that nothing can stop me. I realize I feel that I'm healthy. I feel that I'm in the best mindset that I can be, even though I always can do better. I can always do better in my life. Now, I always understand that no matter what, that the words just lead the way. And when you speak a lot of words into the planet, then you achieve a lot of success. So you have to always do more work. And you have to always understand that you have to be doing a lot of content. You understand? Reading on a daily basis, speaking a lot of words, doing everything to make sure that you're healthy. You have to study a lot. And when you study life, make sure you're teaching along the way. Try to build a reputation for yourself. Try to help as many people as possible in the planet. Try to make a positive impact in the planet in some kind of way. So I understand that. I realize it's much more because people are not following me as much. I realize it's because there's so much wisdom out there. You understand? I promise you, because there's so much wisdom in the world, I realize that's why people are not following me the way I want them to follow me. It's not that I don't want to control them. I understand it's much more how, what I'm trying to say is many people are not following me because there's so much wisdom in the world. And because people create their own mindsets and people create their own things in life, and they create their own lifestyles and they create everything about themselves, I realize that's the amazing thing about life that you can do. That you can create yourself every single day, that you can create your life, that you can go and create whatever you want to create in the world, and that you can make some kind of positive difference in the world. In a sense, so that's the whole point of having a great mindset. And it's the whole point of living a great life. So you have to understand that all I'm trying to do in my life personally, I'll tell you right now, is that I'm just trying to make wisdom right now. I'm trying to make as much wisdom as possible. I'm trying to do as much content as possible. I'm trying to help out as much as possible in my life. To help myself is the main thing. Because when I coach myself something, that's when I then coach you. So when I coach myself first, I then make that content come true and I coach you with that content. So if you go through my quotes, for example, if you go on amazon.com.au and you write Danny Milivojevic and you go through all my books, you have to understand that those books are going to coach you my mindset. I wrote all those quotes. I wrote all the quotes on amazon.com.au from me. And you have to realize that each book on amazon.com.au has got to do with me. And the thing is that you have to realize that no matter what, that when you come from a position of making something and you're creating a lot of things in life in terms of thoughts, words, and you're creating a lot of silence in your life, you're creating a lot of things, you start to become happier because you're learning something in the process of creation. And because you learn to grow in a nice way, then you actually start to be so enthusiastic with your life that you start to create a lot of meaning in your life. And because you create a lot of meaning in your life, you're always doing something positive. You're always making sure that you're going to somehow make a difference. And when you make a lot of difference in life, then people start to see exactly what you are made of. They start to see exactly how you can help them. But the thing is that many people are not going through information in the way I am. I realize they're not trying to do what I'm doing. You understand? And the thing is that I understand everyone's got their own path. But you have to realize that my path is just coaching people and making music. That's my path. And now I would love for people to go through my path, to understand me, to understand how good I am, to understand something about helping people in some kind of experience kind of way, where you can provide an experience for people. And that's what you can do also. And that's what you're doing in your life also. You're always providing some kind of experience to people, because you have to realize that's why you're living life. You're here to experience life, but you're here to give the experience of you to people, to showcase you, to make sure that people can understand you in some kind of way. And so that you make a positive difference in the world. So when you make a positive difference in the world, that's the best thing in life, because a lot of positivity happens in life. And when you're flowing with positivity in life, then you're always positive in your daily life. And because you're positive, you're always going to do positive things. You're always going to help yourself in some kind of way. You're going to grow. You're going to give ideas. You're going to make sure you have the greatest mindset in life. And you're just going to be growing. And that's the only thing that you need to do. You just have to make sure every single day you're doing something that's going to lift you, that's going to motivate you to do better. And every single day I'm understanding that the more content I do on a daily basis, I understand that's power. That's something that I always apply in my life. And because I apply all this information in my life, I become an individual who's much greater than yesterday because I'm always pushing myself to grow. And understand how it can be tough to grow if you don't know how to grow. And now I don't know how to grow either, but I understand something about growth, and I understand that I have a way to grow in my daily life. And because I provide that way for me, I understand that's why I try to teach you how I grow and how I'm doing things in my life so that you can apply this information into your life, which is just mindset. I'm just teaching you a mindset. I'm teaching you my attitude and how I go about things. And now that's the thing. You have to find your own type of thing in life, and you have to start creating this mindset in life. You have to understand mindset is everything. And when you create this amazing mindset that you can have in life, that's the greatest thing in life, because that allows you to live life. This mindset that I'm talking about allows you to live life. It allows you to express yourself. It allows you to give ideas. It allows you to prosper and become rich, and it allows you to understand God and Jesus Christ and all the books of the planet and what it's on about. And you have to understand everything that is a book is a good thing. And there's many books in life. You can tell that life is a good thing. And you have to realize that people are trying to help through books, but you have to be willing to learn this information. You have to be willing to go through the information. You have to be willing to study. Yes, and you have to be willing to study a lot of things, because that's the enthusiasm. And enthusiasm happens when you're learning something. And the more you learn, the more enthusiastic you are. And the more flexible you are, and the better you are in terms of everything. So you have to understand, you have to always be constantly learning. So I can imagine these soccer players around the world and how they do their sports and stuff. I realize, yes, they're trying to be the best soccer player in the world. I realize they're trying to score a lot of goals, but what are they doing for their mindsets? You understand? I mean, how are they growing in daily life? How are they trying to become even greater than soccer? You understand? How are they trying to become a greater individual in everything they're doing? You understand? How are they trying to help the world? You understand? How are other people trying to help the world? You understand? So that's what I always look at. I always look at how is someone coming from this perspective where they're being positive but also trying to help the world in some kind of way, where they're trying to contribute, where they're trying to help themselves in the process. And how are they doing that? And I understand that's why I'm in the inner circle, for example, which means that I'm in that part of life that is a good life. I have a good life, and I understand that I see what's missing. I see also what's not missing in my life. And what's missing in my life is wisdom, and what I have also is wisdom. So I just need more wisdom to grow. And now I have that wisdom already. I have the wisdom that I need to be able to grow. And all I need to understand is much more to just speak and communicate much more on a daily basis. And because I speak a lot, as much as possible in my daily life, I create a lot of meaning. I create lots of meaning every single day. I try to cherish my life. I try to do something to help myself. And because I help myself in many ways, where I grow in many ways, I grow in a lot of ways. And that way I'm actually always enthusiastic. I'm always charismatic. I'm always talking ideas in my life. I'm always trying to feed my mind with positive material. And I'm understanding that's why I'm a positive individual. And understand I don't hang around with a lot of people, you understand? And the reason I don't hang around with a lot of people is because I like to be alone, but I like to be not separate, but I like to be standing out in some kind of way. I like to be also understanding that, yes, everything's separate at the same time as much as it's connected. So you are separate from people, but you're also connected to people at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is you have to stand out, and you have to understand it's much more how when you go together with people somewhere, you have to be learning and growing. And I just feel that these people that are around me are not growing as much as me. So when they're not growing as much as me, then I feel that they're going to drag me down in some kind of way. And because the thing is that everyone's growing in life. But the thing is that I always have to understand that if I want to be around people who are living the life, I always want to be around people who are living the life. And I want to be around people in terms of information, that information that they have. I want to be around the information that they're giving. And I feel that these people around me are not giving this information that I need in my life. Because they're not providing this service for me, then that's why I'm not around these people, because they've got no information to give me. So I always want to be around people who are giving me information. And now many people look down on me because I'm just another face. I'm just another person. It's like they're sick of life. It's like they see, oh, this guy's only 30 years of age. What does he know? It's like, you have to understand, a little baby can teach you something. You have to realize, and the more you realize about life and the more you study life, the more you become a philosopher. You understand? You become this individual where you're growing and when you're making something come true for yourself every single day. You're making a better world for yourself. And because you're making a better world, you're starting to always fascinate yourself with things. And when you're fascinating yourself with a lot of aspects of life, you become a fascinating person to be around. Do you know why? Because you're able to teach these people something. And when you teach a lot of things about life, then people start to come to your direction. They start to see exactly what you're on about and how you communicate on a daily basis. And you have to realize that no matter what I'm doing, I'm always positive about what I do. And no matter how bad things get, I'm always positive about it. And I'm always trying to rotate my information, but I'm trying to grow from that information. I'm trying to grow with everything that I have. And so the thing is that when you have something of information in your life, you need to be able to give that to other people. You have to understand that you have to share a lot of things in life. And you have to share things about you, about your experiences, about your ideas, about your business, about your career, about your passions, about your adventure, your journey, your travels. And you have to show people your fashion statement. So if you look at my Instagram, you'll realize something about my Instagram. Go check it out. You have to realize, if you type in Danny Milivojevic Instagram, okay, just go on Instagram and type in Danny Milivojevic. You'll see what my fashion statement is. And you'll see what I'm all about, for example. And it's all about how people perceive you. And so it's much more how you perceive yourself than how other people perceive you. So you have to realize that the world is positive, okay? And you have to understand that the world is good. So you have to always understand that you have to be in a position to teach something to people. And when you start teaching things around life, or around whatever you're doing, you have to understand your business starts to flourish. You start to gain more wisdom from it. You start to actually become someone. You understand? And I understand why some people fail. And they fail because they're trying to make money, but they're not trying to teach people how to make money. You understand? So they're trying to make money, but they're not trying to teach people how to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's much more they're coming from a selfish place because they're doing it for the money. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it for the money, but they're not doing it to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize that you have to do it from a place where you teach people. You understand? You teach people and then you make the money. You understand? And now if you make the money first, then you have to understand that you're making wisdom. You're making wisdom from this. You're not trying to make money. You're trying to make wisdom. And now when you make wisdom, then you make money. You understand? Wisdom is the money. So for example, Grant Cardone, who's a best-selling author, apparently he says for people to go get real estate, for example. But what I understand from this is I understand real estate to me is wisdom. So when he says invest in apartment complexes, I say invest in wisdom. You understand? Invest in wisdom, and then you can have whatever you want out of real estate. You understand? It's much more how you have to realize no matter what happens, it's much more how I'm always relating things to wisdom. I'm always trying to understand you from the wisdom point of view. It's like if you're teaching me wisdom, then you're a good person. If you're teaching me wisdom, then you're giving me a lot of ideas. And if you're teaching me wisdom, then I understand that you are somebody who I need to be around. So I'm understanding that those people who teach a lot of wisdom about life, they are the wise people in the planet. Yes, and so the thing is that many people don't think that I'm a wise person. And now you have to understand that it's much more how I don't care what people think of me, even though I care. You understand? But yeah, I care more about what I think about myself than what other people care about me. You understand? And it's much more, I care more about what I think about myself than what other people think about me. You understand? So it's much more how you have to understand, you have to come from a position of caring nature. And when you start caring a lot about things, you start having a great attitude, because people want people who are caring. You understand? And you have to be around caring people. Always be around someone who cares about you. You understand? I promise you, people who don't care about you, I promise you don't want to be around these people. I promise you, if they're not talking words to you, then don't be around them. You understand? It's much more be around people who are talking words to you. And now you have to realize that where I go for these people is I make sure I go online and I start just learning on my own, for example. And because I learn on my own, I learn a lot of things on my own. You know, so I learn how to be independent, to learn, to grow, to help myself in some kind of way, to be my best friend about my growth and about who I am. And I try to help myself in every single kind of way to always think positively about every single situation, and that there's something better than this world. In a sense, so you have to realize every single day I'm understanding that there's always a better world that I can have in my life. But I understand that it's not a get rich quick scheme, even though you have to realize also that when you learn every single moment, you have to understand that's the greatest thing in life, and it's also a get rich quick scheme as well. So when I'm learning something, that's me getting rich quickly. You understand? But the thing is, it's also a long journey. You understand? It's a long journey, and it's a lot of work to get to the point that you want to get to. But you have to understand that my only goal in life is wisdom. And if I do anything in my life, I understand I'm always doing more. And I understand I'm always doing more because I understand that I need more in my life. I need more. I understand if I want to live more, I understand it's much more how I do. But the thing is, it's much more how also I'm always learning in the process of everything that I'm doing. And because I understand that I have to live life, otherwise I'll kill myself. So that's why I need more. Yes, and so every single day, I'm always trying to help myself in some kind of way to be learning, to grow, to live life, to be the best version of myself that I can be. You understand? Because that's everything. And when you learn and grow every single day, you're always going to find something to say. You're always going to find the better part of life, in a sense. So you have to realize, when I make a lot of things come true for me, I'm always studying, I'm always learning, I'm always growing, I'm always pushing my boundaries. And when I push my boundaries, I understand it's much more how I'm growing from it. I'm growing, and that's the best thing about life. It's always helping yourself to grow, and that's what it's all about.